Hello, church, and welcome to the Midweek Pastor's Update for Thursday, December 17th, 2020. This is a little later than how I normally like to do my pastor's updates, but I have to admit, today we have been spending a lot of time as a family putting together some enjoyable little scenes and some music that we are contributing to the Christmas pageant, which has been, it's a collaborative effort from a whole bunch of different families. And I have all sorts of video and audio, and we'll be compiling that today and tomorrow and putting it together, and you will get to see it starting as early as this Sunday. It'll be part of the Sunday worship, plus I'll be making it as a standalone that you can find on our church website. But it's been a lot of fun. It's a lot of effort to put something like this together, doing it in a distant way, like we need to these days. But it sure is fun, and I'm excited to see how it comes out. So I hope you're looking forward to seeing it too. Catch it this coming Sunday. A couple little news and notes items really for the update today. The first is, I always just have to say a huge thank you to everybody for your generosity, for your donations. Over the last couple weeks, we've been talking about the Christmas Fund, which goes to support the families of retired clergy. And there's also, it meets a whole bunch of needs within that category after a clergy retires. And in fact, part of this coming Sunday's worship will feature a short video that gives you a little bit more insight as to what that fund does and how powerful it is. So thank you for those that have contributed to the Christmas Fund. And then also for the Growing Hope Globally Fund, our organization that we've been supporting. A lot of you have been sending in checks for that. So thank you for that. And you can continue to send your checks if you feel moved to contribute to either of those organizations. Again, send your checks to FCC Auburn, make them out to FCC Auburn, and then in the memo line you can put the Christmas Fund, you can put Growing Hope Globally, or you can also consider giving to another organization that I've talked about here before and in various worship services. It's an organization that we have been supporting over the last couple years, and it works out of Guatemala, and it's called the Hope of the Pocomchi. And they do such amazing work in terms of helping out small communities in Guatemala that are really struggling just to survive. It's really helping them meet their own needs and creating sustainable communities within what otherwise would be too far remote areas to really reach by sort of your standard organizations, charities, whatnot. So Hope of the Pocomchi is a wonderful organization, and as far as sending a check to that, I believe it's POKOMCHI, Hope of the Pocomchi, if you put that in the memo line. If it's not exactly that, I really hope that we can find a way to make sure it gets to where it needs to go. I apologize, I don't have it exactly in front of me, but you may find it on the church website. But that organization just does such amazing work, and if you find it in your heart that you'd like to contribute to that, then please do, and thank you. And then lastly, thank you to all of you who have contributed to the Pastors Community Fund that I use to support so many folks in our community for a variety of things, whether it's families and they might need food or help paying rent, or if it's for gifts for Christmas, or if it's just someone that needs money for gas, something like that. That fund is my ability to respond to immediate need, and you all have just been incredible with your offerings for that. So thank you for your donations to that. Okay, aside from all those wonderful announcements, I want to talk about the upcoming worship services, and today I think I'm going to focus mostly on the Advent Spiral worship service coming up. It's hard these days to get the word out about stuff. This is basically my means of doing it, is to try to share with you on these Wednesday updates and maybe a little bit of information as a part of worship. But, the Advent Spiral is something we've been doing since I've been here, and before I was here. It's not something I created, but I just find it to be such a beautiful and meditative, reflective service, and yet joyful too, just quiet joy. And so why would you consider going to a service like that this year of all years? Well, the service itself will be this coming Saturday. That'll be Saturday, December 20th at 5 p.m. We're meeting outside, okay? So that's what makes this doable. We will be practicing safe, distancing. Please do bring a mask and wear it. But we'll have seats set up, and so you should feel safe coming. But for the Advent Spiral, why would you want to come? Maybe what you need in order to really feel in the spirit of Christmas is the space to be quiet, to really allow the spirit of joy or of love, of peace, to really step into you. And that service, for so many, it does just that. Where we can come up, and it's very simple. It's set up as a labyrinth of greens that takes us to a centerpiece where there is a candle. And as we walk in slowly, and we usually walk in by ourselves, but if you have small children, you're welcome to go together. But we usually walk through it very deliberately with our own candle, and we put candles in apples, and it's just such a wonderful thing. And so as we walk through, it's a chance to reflect on your life, on this past year, on this December, on so many things, that we've been going through as individuals, as a church, as a community, as a nation, as a world. And so it's a chance to step in and move to the center more of who you are, who you long to be, maybe who you used to be. And you bring your unlit candle in, and then at the center you spend a moment or two praying. And maybe that's another motivation for you to attend. Maybe that movement to the center is something you long for. Part of what we do in the center is we may leave something there. Not maybe literally leave it, but metaphorically, what is it that we want to let go of? That's another reason for considering a service like this. It helps us not only to reflect on where we've been and where we're going, but maybe to help us let go of some things that have been tying us up in knots for far too long. Maybe some things that have been such a burden that we just need to lay down. Well, you get to the middle of that circle, and it's just a powerful opportunity to be with yourself in the center of who you are, metaphorically. And then when you're ready, you take your unlit candle and you can lean it in there and draw your light, rekindle your light from that center candle. We call that maybe the Christ candle, but it's the candle of creation. It's the candle of creativity. It's the candle of love. It's the candle of whatever source that you long for it to be. You draw your light from that candle, and then as you slowly make your way out, here's another beautiful piece of this service. You intentionally and lovingly leave your candle in an apple. It'll be sitting in an apple. You leave it along the path to help light someone else's way as they come in and as they go. It is such a beautiful statement of what we all long for in this life. To discover truth, to let go of the things that are burdening us or that are holding us back, to discover our courage, to find that we're not alone, to rekindle the fires of creativity, joy of life, and then to help light someone else's way as we walk the path. It's just a profound, simple service. So those are some motivators for you to consider coming. And having said all of that, if you're not feeling comfortable coming, or if it's just not going to work out timing-wise for you, that's okay. Don't worry about that. I'm going to be recording the service, and we're going to find ways to try to help you feel like you're a part of it as you even just get to watch it. That it's admittedly it'll be a bit of a challenge as the light shifts so dramatically at that 5 o'clock hour. But hey, we're up for the challenge. That's been the theme of this year, I think. Stepping up to the challenge, pushing ourselves in directions that we might not have anticipated. So that's a part of this. But the point is, if you can come, please do. 5 o'clock on Saturday. I keep forgetting this. Is it the 20th? Today's the 17th. No, it's the 19th. Sorry, I'm all over the place. I don't remember what day it is. Just look at the church website. Today is the 17th, right? That's Thursday. So Friday the 18th, Saturday the 19th. Anyway, the 19th at 5 p.m. Come a little early, but not too much. You don't have to worry about that. And then it'll be up on the website at some point over the weekend for those that aren't ready to attend or aren't able to attend. So we'll have something there available for you. And then after that, Christmas Eve, we are planning on our church, our bonfire. And by bonfire, what I mean is we're going to set up 3 different fire pits so we're going to do another outside service. And that's also going to be at 5 p.m. on Christmas Eve. But I'll talk more about that next week's update. I'll try to do an update a little earlier next week, because next Thursday is Christmas Eve already. That's crazy to think about that, isn't it? But anyway, more info to come. But that's 5 p.m. outside, another opportunity to connect with one another at a safe distance, but just to step into the light and the joy and the music and the story and the power of this season. So we all long for connection, friends. We are missing one another. We're missing the opportunity each week to gather in sacred community. But just know this, even though it seems like every week I'm staring into some type of device here, talking to myself, I feel so connected to each one of you as we do these things that we can do. It's not perfect. Obviously, it's not what we would want it to be necessarily, but man, it is still so powerful and so meaningful and so important. And so thank you for participating in it. Thank you for watching. But just know that everything we do is something that we offer as a means of seeking connection, creative connection in these challenging days. So it's going to get better, and it's going to continue. We're going to continue to find new ways to stay connected. So I look forward to that. But anyway, I hope to see many of you at the service on Saturday at the Advent Spiral, 5 o'clock, Saturday the 19th. But otherwise, I just hope until we do meet again that you find yourself held in the peace of Christ. Amen.